Okay. So, all right. So after it was done charting,
Yeah.
at that point, what was the next thing? Because obviously, I know you said you came out with another
single.
record, and eventually you put out the full project.
Yeah, well, no, the full project dropped March 25th, so
Okay.
the single was still, bubbling
Still doing
crazy.
thing at that point.
We didn't drop the next single, Give It a Baby, until about May, June.
Okay.
So this held me down for a good 5 months.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But we didn't want to drop, meaning the crew, meaning D-Dot, meaning we didn't want to drop Give It Up Baby. We felt like Give It Up Baby, because it wasn't the right single to follow from the theme. The theme was such a monster. We had to at least, and even though it was going into the summer, we had to at least keep the party going. We had to at least, you know what I'm saying, and Give It Up Baby wasn't keeping the party
because
going.
you said that's going into the summertime, like day parties and the nightclubs and all of that.
So we had a record called Stars in the East featuring my Power Move R&F brothers, One Step Beyond.
Okay.
That was certified to me. You know what I'm saying? And so that was the battle. Like, is it Stars in the East or is it Give It Up Baby? You know, the record company wanted the West Coast feel and all this other stuff. And I'm like, nah, but that ain't it. I like the record, but the timing is not it for that. So,
and explain this, because see, I'm even learning a lot about the way the music industry works just from what you kind of saying. So even though you were like, I'm a little back and forth about putting out this one, I'd rather put out something different.
Right.
They're gonna, at the end of the day, they're gonna make that
because they got the bread.
Yep.
They're gonna spend the money. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can have your influence, and I will say that I probably had more influence than most new artists coming in the game. That's because I was at a new situation where they kind of needed some help and some guidance on what to do. First of all, Universal, the parent company, didn't know what to do with hip hop at the time.
Okay.
And then Mark, he was a new executive. You know what I'm saying? He had gotten some experience working under Puff and being Big's manager, but this was his first executive decision.
And what during that time, what other studios were like in competition that were more established during that time?
Def Jam #1.
Def
you know
Jam.
what I'm saying? And then you still had, I think, I don't know if Tommy Boy was still in play, but you had all these other smaller independent companies that had major label distribution and backing.
And then on top of that, I mean, even though this was the tail end of it, you had Death Row.
Death Row.
Just coming up, you know what I mean?
They wasn't at the tail end of nothing.
One thing about in
96, they were still on fire.
They were still on fire.
They were fire.
They didn't cool off till
2000s, man.
2000s, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about obviously when Pop was done and all that, but still they still was able to ride that wave for a while.
Yeah, because All Eyes on, was it All Eyes on Me? No, Machiavelli. Machiavelli dropped after he passed away.
Exactly, so they was able to still. And then Snoop was still on for a little bit. So.
Yeah, they were still on fire. So, Universal, they trying to get their, foot in the game and all that, but they didn't really know what they was doing. So that enabled me to have some influence. But, you know what I'm saying, like with this particular single, I don't know if it deaded me or not. I don't know if the writing was on the wall before this single and there was no intention on really getting behind me after the theme or what have you. But they more or less took the position of, let's throw it up against the wall and see if it sticks.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without really having a game plan.
Yeah.
So the theme stuck.
Okay.
So the next record, they was like, all right, let's see if it stuck. And if it didn't stick, then they was going to lose interest. And so that's what I think happened.
That's crazy.
Plus, after, if we're moving along the timetable, what we did was we took Stars in the East, put that on the B-side, but it didn't get the light. We didn't shoot a video for none of that. They tried to pump everything into Give It Up Baby. We shot this video out in LA in front of this mansion and all this other crap. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like I said.
But so when in the midst of all this, when did the album drop?
March 25th, 1997.
So that was like that was when the buzz was taken. That was
we were in the middle.
But it was just the records after that.
We were in the crux in the middle of the album.